Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Kings of Leon, and we looked at the passion in relationships through the song Sex on Fire, so I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going to one of the most influential bands of the 1960s and early 1970s. The story started in 1963 in London with brothers Ray and Dave Davies. Now, for those guys out there that know this band, you'll know the band that I'm talking about are the Kinks. Now, the Kinks the brothers were joined by Mick Avery and Peter Quaife. These guys were also a very significant part of the British invasion into the US as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. These guys were renowned for reflecting English culture and lifestyle, and they would actually morph into various musical styles over their career. The band started out as a debut in a school dance, and that went so well that they started playing in local pubs, and they started auditioning singers, including Rod Stewart, and he was vocalist for these guys for a while. But the band morphed, had a few names at the start. There was a Ray Davey Quartet, and they supported Cyril Stapleton at a gig and became quite well known through that. There was the Dave Hunt Band. There was also the Ramrods and the Ravens. They would meet Shel Tammy, and Shel was actually promoting the Beatles because, of course, the early 1960s was massive for the Beatles as well. And they were soon signed to Pye Records. And at that point, they would actually adopt the name the Kinks, around kinky, being something different, being something cool, something hip, all the sort of stuff that you did back in the early 1960s and certainly late 1960s. In 1964, their massive song got released off the album Kinks. The song You Really Got Me really did share in a new type of sound for music. Guitars were distorted here. Things were meaty. Vocals were fantastic. And it was just a real song with attitude. The song, the first recording, the guys weren't really happy with it, but the recording studio said, hey, you know what, we haven't got money to do it. But they said, well, you know what, we'll fund the re-recording ourselves, and the rest is history. This song is for people who are into hard rock, heavy metal. This is a bit of a blueprint on how to do this genre. This is how significant You Really Got Me absolutely is. This song got to actually number 10 in the US as well, so not bad for someone in the UK. We've got a studio version very early on and a live version below of You Really Got Me. You really got me. You really got me going. You really know me. You really know everything about me. You really got me. And I think what I love about this song, apart from the raw energy of it, is the fact that, hey, this is an absolute guy that's absolutely, his girl gets him to start with, and he's just really excited to be known so well by somebody. You really got me is more than that to say, you know what, because of that, I'm going to give all of me to you. You really got me. You're not just you got me, you really got me. And I think it's nice in relationships, we talk about wanting each other. Well, that's well and truly part of the deal in relationships. You've got to want each other. That's the difference between a friendship and a relationship, is that wanting is more than just in the bedroom sexually. Wanting is like wanting to be with the person, wanting to see them, wanting to feel them, wanting to talk with them, wanting to do life with them. All the stuff that you do when you're in a relationship, you really want to be with them. You really got me saying, hey, you know what, girl, I'm all in. I am all in. why wouldn't I want to be all in with something as cool and as fantastic as this? So if you are in a relationship and you are kind of teetering on, will I go in or not? Well, the pros and cons. Obviously, if the pros are, the guy, the girl, they're really, really great. They're affectionate. They're passionate. You enjoy doing life with them. You just enjoy being with them. Well, there's nothing wrong with going all in. If you've got that trust there, well, that's what trust isn't it? It's saying, hey, I'm going to go all in with you because you really got me. An incredible declaration of not just love, but undying commitment, really, this song. And when you put it together with the way this song was actually recorded, it's just really, really compelling. Don't underestimate the songwriting genius of the Davies brothers as well as the incredible musicianship and the incredible vocals. There's a bit of harmony going on in this song as well. And we all know that the Kinks really did invent music in their own way by really rocking it out a little bit in the early 1960s. So you really got me, studio version and live version before. Of the same album, we've also got All the Day and All of the Night. Again, another pretty, because You Really Got Me was such a hit for these guys. Well, they kind of put All the Day and All of the Night in a similar vein, similar feel to it. But again, this got to number 2 in the UK and number 7 in the US. So it's pretty Kinks were pretty much on a crest wave at this point. So we've got a studio version of that one below. We then go forward to a number 1 in the UK, Tired of Waiting for You. We've got a live version of that one below. It could be, hey girl, you really got me, but I don't think I've really got you yet. And it's a story of like, hey, I'm all ready to go. Why aren't you? But you know what? I want you. I'm waiting for you because I think you're pretty amazing. So get a live version of that one below. 1965, they went to Australia. Australia. And they opened for Manfred Mann and one of his outfits that was going around at the time. Of course, Manfred Mann was pretty big in the 60s. But things were starting to stray a little bit. And tensions were starting to fray in the band. Dave Davies and Mick Avery in particular were having a bit of a falling out. There was a bit of an incident on stage that wasn't so good. And I think the media antics, and also I think, because they were in the US at this point, I think the antics of on-stage antics and also the Americans just being a little bit scared about what was happening to these guys from the UK coming over, because don't forget the Beatles were also big as well, thinking, I don't think we want you guys here. We're going to ban you. We're going to use any excuse we can to actually ban you from touring in the US. And this kind of did stop the Kinks' US career for a bit of time. It's good to know that a couple of decades down the track, they were able to renegotiate and get back into the US, and the US have loved them ever since. But they did stop over in India, coming back from America, and See My Friends was released as a single, and this was one of the first rock songs to have the sitar in it. There have been a lot of sitar songs since then, but this was one of the first ones to have the sitar in it. There's a bit of pop with Indian influences. Pete Townshend of the Who cites this song as extremely influential on him. Also in 1965, man, these guys were busy. Kind of Kinks was released, and there was a bit of a departure from that sort of heavy rock sound into something a bit different. And The Dedicated Follower of Fashion is a satirical single from 1965. We've got a live version below. Follow this up in 1966, Sunday Afternoon. This is off the album Face to Face. This song got to number 1 and actually ousted Paperback Writer from the Beatles. So there we go. Well and truly ushering out, I suppose, a softer sound for the Kinks. So we've got a studio version of that one below. Move forward to 1967. We've got Waterloo Sunset. We've got a live version of this one below all the way forward in 2010. The song's all about two lovers passing over a bridge and taking in the sunset. What a beautiful, beautiful song that one, beautiful thing that one is. The album was something else about the Kinks, absolutely something else. They were going into different things. This song is quite complex, but it was recorded in 10 hours. That's how good these guys were, not only live, but also in the studio. Another song that the Kinks are famous for, Lola in 1970, all about a transvestite and the experiences with Lola, and the album Lola versus Power, Money, The Money Ground, Part 1. We've got a live version of Lola below. They had a bit of a quiet patch after that. Well, they had been going for quite a few years at this point. The 1970s were really and truly bringing in a new era of music as well. And we had bands like ABBA and the Bay City Rollers who were really truly bringing pop to the fore. But it was around 1977 that there was a bit of a resurgence when they signed with Arista Records, and there was a bit of a rebirth as an arena band. They released the album Sleepwalker, got to number 21 in the Billboard charts. Move forward to 1983, and of course in the 1980s we're getting to more synth-based songs, and the Kinks were no exception with this beautiful song, Don't Forget to Dance. I must say, I do remember this song being released, and I didn't know who it was, and then when it was the Kinks I thought, wow, that's quite contemporary 1980s song. So Don't Forget to Dance, all about, hey, just that very thing. Don't forget to dance, don't forget to feel, don't forget to live. The official clip of that one's pretty cool below. It did bring the Kinks back into success a little bit. So quite a contemporary sound for the Kinks. Got official and live version of that one below. So as I've said, one of the most influential acts of the 1960s and early 1970s, Rolling Stone put them number 65 on the 100 top bands of all time. Influenced such acts as the Ramones, the Clash, the Jam, and Van Halen, who, of course, did cover You Really Got Me and did it really well. Between 1963 and 1996, there's been 26 studio albums, 4 live albums, 78 singles, 3 number 1 UK singles, and 5 top 10 Billboard. Estimated to have sold around 50 million albums. So in the scheme of things, very significant indeed. In fact, so significant that they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990. The first year that they were actually able to do so. That's a very high accolade indeed, because as we know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is an American award, and for an English act to get in there is a very high honour indeed. So it's great to look at this absolutely incredibly influential band of the 60s and 70s. The Kinks really have had a lot to do with where music is today. They weren't scared to pioneer, they weren't scared to actually break new ground, and they weren't scared to change the sound over the years as well. If you compare You Really Got Me with through to Sunday Afternoon, through to Don't Forget to Dance, there's quite some different sounds in there, and the Kinks really truly have continued to reinvent themselves. So, and this is the great thing about not standing still. You remain relevant all the way through to their induction in 1990. So the links to those 11 clips are in the description below. It's getting up a few there. And I've also included my last video from Kings of Leon. If you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if this is your first time, the Life Reflections to Music, or you've come back for another one, how great to see everybody here. Well, that's it for today. Next time, we're going to get on to Corey Hart. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.